Now, of course, to understand relationships, we need to take account of individuals and their thoughts and feelings and the dyad, but we must never lose sight of the fact that all of this occurs in a broader context. The broader context of relationships involves a number of important challenges. So there are the stresses and challenges of work, the stresses and the challenges of school, um, difficulties relating to health, and of course, difficulties with money.
Money has always been very tight for us. And a lot of times we argue about money or like we're broke and like why are we broke? And then you bought this and then you bought this or like I feel like I have to chip in more. And it's difficult. It's difficult because I think any relationship under any sort of instability suffers a little bit, and not having financial stability can be very stressful because it just it just kind of it's something that sort of frames your whole life, and the things that happen in your life obviously affect your relationship. And if you're living a life together, then I think it affects you that much more.
All my life, I thought money had nothing to do with the relationship, but I was wrong. Money
Yeah.
definitely improves a relationship. When you're young, you don't think that it does, but I think it makes life a lot easier.
Well, two times in our marriage that we've had financial problems were in 1981 and 1991. I've been in the real estate business for about 28 years.
It really did happen pretty quick. We lost probably a third of our tenants overnight. The whole atmosphere totally changed. So basically, all our life, everything that we had been building the last 10 years, all of a sudden, we started going backwards. And I knew that. I knew it. But I think it takes you time to really know, oh, this is going to last for 2 months, 3 months. Okay, we can weather this for 5. All of a sudden, like about the third month, you realize this is not getting better, it's getting worse. And we have to make some major adjustments in our life.
If you got a mate that's right there with you and committed to helping you, you can accomplish a lot. It would have been very easy at that point in time to say, why did you get me into this?
Emotionally, I could
She
have.
could have very easily destroyed our relationship right there at that point.
I knew when Steve was working his hardest to accomplish that, and that I could literally lay down my head at night and say we had done everything we possibly could have as a couple. So I could lay my head down and go, hey, there's no more we could do. We couldn't do any more physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually to accomplish it. It was in God's hands. And I knew He had done that. So because I knew He had done that, it didn't cause me to be bitter towards Him. It caused me to love Him more and say, I'm here for you.
It comes down to regularity of eating, going to work, having a regular time to meet for dinner. It was the little things, the consistent things that get you through the day.
And even go so far as sex. It was, tell you, when you're under that kind of stress, forget it. I told Steve, I can understand how Eisenhower didn't want, let's face it, you have to really work at trying to say, we need this intimacy level established. And we had to say, we are going to do this. Because it would have been easier just to say, forget it, I'm too tired, there's too much going on. But those things help. But you have to work at it. And the amazing thing is, Steve and I spend 24/7 together because we work together, we go to the grocery store together, we eat together, yet we had no quality time together. You just have to guard yourself of getting worn out, being together but not spending any quality time together. And that's what was our problem.
Toward the end of all the things that we went through during the 7 or 8 years, about 7 years, I did have a slight stroke. So there was some effect some way.
At the hospital, I said, that is it. This is just craziness for you. Because I really think it was the weight of everybody else that he was carrying beyond our family that really just caused all that stress. I said, you've done your best. That's it. You matter to me. We work really hard to save all this and do all this, and then I don't have you. So I think it goes back to, we always said, well, we had our health, we had our kids, and everything was okay. Well, all of a sudden, you don't have your health. nothing else matters.
The traditional view of stress or stressful events is that they're events that hit people from the outside, that are sort of these random shocks that people have to deal with, and roll with the punches. But that's not the whole story, of course. I've been interested in a phenomenon that I call invisible support, which captures cases where the partner senses that that their husband or their wife is undergoing stress and acts in ways so that this stress is reduced or their ability to cope is enhanced without making it explicit to the person. I think that there is a real benefit to helping people in this unobtrusive way, because if you consider the alternative where someone has clearly had a really bad day at work, they're trying to put it out of their mind. If a spouse draws particular attention to this and makes it absolutely explicit how they're being helpful, that may not be what the stressed person really needs. And so invisible support is, I think, an important part of the fabric of relationships, how good relationships work. And I think it goes hand in hand with the more explicit, conscious types of support. But of course, a challenge can be met sometimes with success. The art is being able to keep these challenges to some level that we can manage them without breaking down.
When my partner and I are under stress, the most effective way that I personally deal with it is to have it out with him, to have a long, drawn-out discussion, and to hammer out all of our kinks.
The most effective way I deal with it, if my partner and I are under stress, is probably a martini.
I just pray, get alone, and then I come back to her and we reconvene and we strategize on what we're going to do next.
I think expressing affection and being intimate, and just whether it's a back rub, whether it's just hugging or holding someone, that's a great stress reliever for me, because I know that someone else out there wants to be doing what I want to be doing, and it feels good that someone wants to be doing that with me.